Her Q is really powerful in the early game, not quite as impressive in the mid game, and basically useless in the late game. So you use your Q to kind of jump you through early game, as well as your long range to harass in lane and pop turret plates, and then that gets you enough gold to get past the early game. In the mid game, and kind of gets you to that 2-item place where she's strong again. Jinx is pretty good right now. Jhin is okay. The nerfs or the changes to Storm Razor affected him a little bit. He's not bad, but he's not good either. Vayne, still obscenely overpowered. Though with the rise of a couple of her counters, she's been checked by that a little bit, but the changes to her ultimate Final Hour really helps her out. Anybody who's played against Halo Blade's Vayne in the lane knows what I'm talking about. It's like 20 minutes and she's two-shotting everybody on the map. It's kind of stupid. Let's see, who else is...
Not enough damage. Must buff.
Exactly. Right.
Well, as you analyze that a little bit, we're just going to run through the bans. Urgot, Diana, Aatrox, Zoe, some of those more power picks when it comes to overall meta, especially the Aatrox and Urgot specifically. Urgot seems to be just a bit overtuned, but as you were, Wraith.
Yeah. Yeah. As I was saying, so... I was just trying to think who else is really strong right now. The on-hit users, Varus is particularly weak at the moment. MF's doing, as usual, Misfortune. If you're at a lower elo, play Misfortune. Get good at Misfortune. She's a simple champion that can win team fights just with her ultimate. And her early game power is really impressive. So anywhere like gold and below, I'd say just main Misfortune. She's kind of like the Annie of bot lane.
Match buttons, win team fights, as long as you don't cancel your own ultimate.
Yeah, just right-click every now and again on the enemy champion. And her love taps are just so powerful, plus her Q. And if you get really good at her, there is a little bit of finesse to playing the champion. And yeah, she's decent at low elo, not very good at high elo. Sivir, as we saw in the last game, still pretty strong, though has her counters, so play at your own risk, I guess you. But Vayne and Zyra is what it's looking like is going to come out of that. And as we were just saying, Vayne, a very powerful champ. Oh yeah, Twitch is on the rise again. I forgot about that. Twitch actually has one of the highest win rates in the bot lane right now. Late game scaling champions back being a thing, and Twitch being one of the best late game scaling champions in the game.
Yeah, that ultimate spray and pray, tearing through the enemy team, can basically hit everyone in that straight line. Could be crazy. This game, though, we're going to see that Vayne you talked about, plus Zyra, one of those more poking masters. Could be in that bottom lane, could be in the mid lane. We'll have to see where it goes, as Volibear going to be picked up most likely for the jungle. But again, we've seen Volibear in the bottom lane as well. So, could be pretty interesting, as that is going to be grabbed for the side of Dumbledore's army. They say, no, Twitch this time. We saw Caitlyn last game and think we can do better with it. So, we're going to grab the duo of Caitlyn and Thresh, banning out the Irelia, who, I mean, let's be serious. You can always nerf Irelia.
Yeah. And especially since her rework, every time I see her nerfed, I don't care how weak she is, I just want that champion out of my games. It's so annoying. She's not quite as bad as she was, but it's still pretty absurd that she can kill you pretty much at any point. There was a pro I remember quoted at saying, he said, "I've determined a foolproof formula for determining whether or not Aurelia can kill you in various stages of the game." And the answer is yes. Yes, she can. Doesn't matter how... Doesn't matter how far behind she is. Wait, pizza? What?
It's backwards, but Aatrox, Zoe, Zac, Irelia, Poppy spells as zip. has been banned away by the side of Dumbledore's army. They're going to grab the Vi for themselves in the jungle, making sure to keep picking up these heavy CC champions. Scion, Thresh, Vi. That is pretty crazy lineup. Excited to see what they grab for their mid lane, as their last pick could go with something even more heavy, CC oriented, or they could just go for some pretty fun damage, as Lord Reeves is well known for his Orianna and Anivia. Those are going to be banned against him, so he's going to have to pull out something different. Might be that Xerath that I think he played forever and a half ago, as Team Coast is going to lock in a Shen and, ooh, a Galio. One of those picks that did actually have to get nerfed very early on into this current 2019 season, considering that his damage was a bit overtuned when they tried to buff him to get him back into the game. But now he's still a strong force to be reckoned with, and combined with Shen, that's a lot of mobility for the side of Team Coast. And Veigar, the final lock-in for Dumbledore's army, will give us our two teams.
Yeah, and quickly answering your question, Nova, any team that gives Doublelift his Vayne deserves to lose, and they will. But I don't think they're going to get... Sorry. I don't think anybody's going to give up Vayne being as strong as she is right now. Anyway. But let's do a little bit... Well, let's run through picks and the players and their champions, and then I'll break it down for us.
Indeed. All right, for the side of Team Coast, we've got Lieutenant 83 with the Volibear in the jungle. Ketskiln with the Zyra, most likely for that bottom lane supportive role. Azenboy on the Vayne, 80 carry. Otter taking the Shen to the top lane, and Cosmic Xayah on this Galio in the mid. Such crazy mobility with those ultimates.
And for the side of Team... Really? And for the side of Dumbledore's army...
I was waiting until somebody noticed. I don't even know if the team has actually been aware of it or not, but go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's for the side of Dumbledore's army. We've got Excellency Dive taking Scion in the top lane. Smartest 2 on Vi in the jungle. Lord Reeves taking Veigar in the mid lane. Xeno on Caitlyn in the bottom lane ADC role. And Summoner 5, Thresh, in the bottom lane support role, which is what it says on my client, but I'm going to read it. Splenda Daddy, which is actually Cody, who continuously changes his name, makes it difficult to keep track of him, but fortunately, we now know that Cody has his Thresh. Nobody knew it was Cody, and so didn't ban the Thresh. We'll see. He usually gets MVP when this happens, but we'll see if it ends up happening or not. Lord Reeves and Cody on the same team. Cody's shot calling very good in the early game, whereas Lord Reeves's shot calling is legendary in the late game. So between the two of them, they're almost always doing the right thing at the right time. Either that or not. Or they just spend time arguing with each other.
Probably. You got a 50-50 shot, flip a coin whether it's one or the other. Either way, I love the name changes, keeping the Sugar Daddy theme, but instead it's no longer Schroger Daddy because he couldn't spell it. It's going to be Splenda Dad this time, which I'm a big fan of. As we look into these team compositions, we've talked about the craziness coming out from Team Coast, as they've got some high mobility with the Shen and the Galio ultimates, going to teleport themselves around the map, but their carries, the Vayne, the Zyra, hyper squishy champions, prime targets for Veigar to press our delete code, basically, once we get to the later stages of the game. And they still have to contest with the quick ultimates coming out of the Scion and Vi. They can charge in, start a fight whenever they want. So it's going to be some pretty interesting things coming out of these teams.
Taking a look at this, what I really want to see... You see, you have Vayne, Shen, and Galio. This is kind of a protect the Vayne comp right here. You don't have a super powerful carry out of the mid lane, but if Vayne, Asian Boy, gets ahead, Otter has the Stand United, and Galio has his ultimate as well. So... that's damage reduction plus a hefty shield plus a taunt coming through, 2 taunts coming through, and you have a substantial front line unless Xeno can really mess with Asian Boy in the bottom lane. and put him far behind. I don't know if that's even going to matter all that much. The Vayne is going to scale regardless. But Xeno needs to take a hefty lead and really abuse this advantage that he has in picks. Caitlyn, always the perennial winning pick against the Vayne, who is wisely picking up the fleet footwork rather than going with something more aggressive like Halo Blades. And you do have Cody in the bottom lane taking his signature Thresh. Almost 700,000 mastery points on that champion. Good Lord, Cody.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Out of Dumbledore's army, you do have a very heavy line, but you have kind of the damage threats split between Caitlyn and Veigar. Both scaling champions, though not quite as hard scaling as the Vayne. Veigar does a crazy amount of burst damage and can definitely neutralize either Vayne or Zyra if either of them get too close. Whereas Caitlyn doesn't necessarily have to compromise herself in order to do the damages. Meanwhile, Vi, much more aggressive in the early game ganking than Volibear. Volibear just not all that legendary of a ganker, but very strong in the terms of auto attacks and 1v1 or 2v2 duels, especially with that passive in the early game. It can be easy to underestimate how much healing that thing is going to do. Excuse me.
Yeah, there's been plenty of dives that Volibear has been able to pull off. Surprisingly, 1083 is the legendary Volibear player on the stream. If you actually check his mastery points, he broke the 600,000 mark as well, just shy of Thresh's own mastery points. Insane player on this champion, has pulled off Volibear support with great success before as well. Really knows the ins and outs and knows how to abuse that regen passive. So expect some good stuff out of him, especially as he is in that jungle, so he can pick and choose his lanes decisively. And that's really the question, is if you were this Volibear, when you're looking at the lineup from Dumbledore's army, which I gotta say they look pretty stacked and they seem like they're the favored team to win, where would you put that pressure? Would you try to get your Vayne to survive the early game by ganking bot lane a bunch and just camping it out, or would you instead be focusing your attention somewhere else, like, say, this mid with the Galio?
Yeah, I'd focus on the lane with the Vayne. If you can get a few kills onto that Vayne, Caitlyn really, really, really wants to shove Vayne in. That's where Kate's most powerful, when she's dropping traps underneath your turret and making it tough for you to fight. You can really open up a big CS lead, especially with the advent of turret plating, where you can just, whenever they're taking the melee minions, then you're dealing with, hold on, it looks like we have some funny stuff in the early game. You've got a 5-man stack going, but you've got kind of a counter movement here.
Are they just going to miss each other completely? All right. Team Coast headed towards this bottom T3, or Tri-Brush, as Dumbledore's army, the Reeves, the master of the invades, going to be leading his team, charging into the red side, or to the blue buff for blue side. They're going to get a ward down, not find anybody out, though, so all of their sneakiness not coming out with any rewards. But here's the key. Dumbledore's army do not know that Team Coast is stacking S5 in this bottom lane brush either. They could wait this out. They could wait and see if they might be able to sneak something. No one from Dumbledore's army wants to check, though, so they're just going to start those recalls back away, everyone heading to their particular lanes. Should be a nice leash, though, even with Galio helping out.
This is a very strange early game.
He started his taunt. Interesting. So Cosmic Zaya starting the Shield of Duran. Looking for the taunt potentially onto the Veigar. He's going to be slow to lane, though, so he might miss a minion or two, as the Vi and the Scion going to start off the enemy team's blue buff. So blue buff stolen away by both teams. We'll see where they decide to go next with it.
Yep, so opposite blue buffs taken, but no advantages gained. We'll see, and it looks like that's going to go for the Wolves, so a small advantage taking away that camp early, might even go for the Gromp on that side as well. So that's going to be a substantial advantage, taking away half of the enemy's jungle. XLNC Otter in the top lane, trading with the Scion. Basically even trades, taking a little bit of the south side of that trade, though. Otherwise, fairly standard things in lane at the moment. But Daddy posturing forward a little bit, trading a little bit with those plants. But Otter dodging out on the Q dive. At half health right now, the S tier top laner in that Scion. Taking the south side of a trade, though. Really good pass-through damage from Shen's sword. Those 3 empowered autos that come after that definitely doing work.
Well, Thresh Hook gonna miss on this bottom side, which means, as you said, I'm getting that free push onto the Vayne and the Zyra. Again, these are highly squishy champions, but once they get ahead a little bit, there's potential for them to just start to destroy. It's all going to be up to Xayah, though. She's so squishy, staying safe in lane, and starting to get some of that poke and harass back onto this Caitlyn.
Zyra.
As Thresh is, again, posturing forward. Cody loves to get aggressive into the enemy team's face.
Yep. And zoning out away from... Hold on, Vayne.
The hook and the 2-man play. That's going to be Vayne in trouble. Azenboy goes down. First blood to Cody with that ignite in the top side. Dive getting the shield explosion, dropping Otter low. Can't find the kill yet, but Lieutenant 83 is here to try to make the counter play. And this bottom side, the dark passage down from the Thresh will get Caitlyn out, and Xeno lives.
Okay, that was disgusting. The trap drop with Cody flaying Asian Boy into the trap. Just the CC chain right there. There was no chance for Asian Boy to survive that. One hook straight to death. And that's pretty much how this lane's supposed to be played.
Oh, Volibear getting cake in the mid lane. Tom comes through. Lord Reese is in trouble. Drops the event horizon and catches the Galio out. Cosmic Xayah now has to run Lieutenant, trying to get the slows onto the Vi. But it's not going to be enough because she's going to flash forward to get one kill. The fear. Will that be enough to save Volibear? No, it will not. Double kill the smartest on this Vi. Nice start for the jungler from Dumbledore's army.
So that's going to be a fairly heavy lead, both in the bottom lane and in the jungle, and that's going to be 2 assists going over to Reeves and the requisite amount of gold that comes with that. There's a heavy lead in the jungle as well as a heavy lead in the bottom lane. Because Vi stole away all those camps on the top side, she now has a CS lead of 38 to 16 over the Volibear.
It's a similar story in that mid lane. The Vigard, 26 farm to the 14 of the Galio. Galio in trouble so far this game. However, Galio not best known for his early plays.
Otter?
Okay. I don't think that was inting. I think he's trying to get the taunt down to stop the Scion from...
No, that's still inting.
So
no.
Oh! Cody is so good. This is why he gets MVPs all the time. However, he may be going down as he is flash, trying to keep himself alive. Azenboy wants him to chase it and turns on to Xeno. They get trading auto attacks. Flash forward from the Zyra. She gets 1. She's going to get 2. Xeno's going to flash in. Is the auto attack going to come through? Not in time. Those plants just a little bit slow to reset. Caitlyn lives in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that didn't go as planned. The hook does land, but everybody being so low, and the fact that Caitlyn had not backed yet and did not have access to the advantage she had gotten earlier in that, that means that it was a very much even fight, starting with higher health. Vayne and the Silver Bolts are stronger in a 1v1. Caitlyn's a poke champion. A long-term engage does not favor her, so well played by Asian Boy, kind of getting that advantage back for himself. An assist and a kill going over to Zyra. But as we were saying, yes, Otter was actually inting in the top lane, because even if he lands that taunt, then he still gets hit by an auto attack. Why he didn't taunt? Oh wow, dive. Taking some damage right there. The Tiamat. No, not finished. Never mind. I'm confused.
Yeah, he's got the Tiamat, but...
Oh, it's the Scion that has the Tiamat.
Yeah,
I was thinking
has...
Shen had one.
Oh, Vi gonna find out Lieutenant. The ultimate from the Galio gonna come and gets the knockup onto the Vi. The taunt comes through in time as well. This might goes down onto the Volibear, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Smartest 2 has to run. Vigar around the corner, though, so the Event Horizon will dissuade the rest of the fight. Cosmic Xayah backing away. The Scion has ulted to try to join into the fight, but he hit a wall, so he's gonna be slowed up. We got 3 versus 3, but Shen doesn't look like he wants to engage. Looks like they're just going to give up the blue buff, let Vi pick it up, and instead go to separate ways. Galio still hanging around the corner, as in the bottom lane, a nice condemn stifles the engage out of the Thresh and stops the Q from coming through. Azenboy, nice move.
Yeah, if that condemn doesn't land, it's pretty much guaranteed hook right there, as the slow had already come through. And then that's probably going to chain straight into a trap and into another death for Asian Boy. But the condemn stuns up the Thresh long enough for Zyra to get back and him to get under turret. So well played right there. Meanwhile, topside dive, taking some more damage from Otter, who's now playing much better in this lane after inting over a kill. Yeah, and dive really, really low, and I believe he's out of pots at this point. Lieutenant going to lose his red buff as well.
Smartest is just stealing every single one of these buffs away. The Shen taunt coming through. Nice move from Lieutenant. It's actually going to stop the Vi from getting over the wall. Smartest 2 in trouble. The taunt from Otter not going to hold her in place long enough. Ace Boy using the ultimate trying to come in. The Shen steals it away as the auto attack from the Vayne was coming in close to try to get the kill. And Lord Reeves is going to secure the finish onto the Volibear as Nozino comes in from the side. The heal used by Ace Boy trying to get everybody out, but dives in here with the teleport as well. Gets pulled out. Doesn't matter. It's still going to secure the kill onto the Shen. Cosmic Xayah here to try to defend, but everyone is so squishy, and the hook lands onto the Vi. Double man played forward. The taunt coming through from Galio is going to be way too late, and Cosmic Xayah is going to watch as all of his teammates fall, and now he's stuck in the battle arena pit. Has to flash away to get over the Event Horizon from the side of Dumbledore's army, whose coordination just looks so clean this game.
Yeah, the collapse. They weren't doing great individually in lane. There were a couple of really good points there, but the collapse coming. All members, wow.
Not much to talk about there. We could talk about this instead. Galio getting played forward, but he's dropped the wall. Splendid Dad going to be traded over 1 for 1. And Vi, in the meantime, however, picks up the win. Drake, so still overall victory to Dumbledore's army, but Team Coast get a little bit back.
As well as it's a support trade, so it's not as bad. Lord Reeves getting that gold for himself, plus a turret plate cracking. Getting this scaling champion online is important, and that gives a favorable back for Lord Reeves over the Galio. So Lieutenant just going to kind of clear these waves real fast.
Oh, he's got flash available, so if he tries to make a flash play, he can definitely get a lot of damage. There it is, flashing forward, he starts the ultimate, but Vi is here to respond. Smartest 2 says, not smart enough, takes out Volibear.
Yeah, meanwhile, Asian Boy in the bot lane just kind of moving back and forth. Splendid Dad manages
Cody, these hooks! Splendid Dad going in. However, it's going to be ignited. That says maybe it's time to go for aggression as Vayne starts to step forward, but is going to back away. We see a fight in the top side. The ultimate from Xayah going to miss.
Oh, the side step!
The Otter just dodges everything. He's trying to get his dash up in time, but won't be able to. Dive still picks up the kill.
Yeah, the taunt had already been used in that previous engage. Unfortunately, Vi was already there. That's going to be a stun landing. Cosmic Xayah getting low. That's the ultimate coming through. It's going to be close.
Xayah,
maybe an auto attack.
Still, what are you doing? You're just letting yourself up to go down. The taunt also not going to come through in time. Not sure why he stopped mid-walking. Might have been able to step away. Splendid Dad lands another hook onto Azen Boy. Nice tumble, though. Another one. That is good. A good meme reference. But the tumble from Vayne is keeping her alive, even though she's gone down twice, trying to keep up with this Caitlyn, down 20 CS so far.
Indeed. Zeno and Cody, huge amounts of pressure in the bot side. And these hooks are on point. Flash Flay!
Oh, nice
and the hook!
Though from the Zaya Katura, live flashing. The Zimboy might still go down. Nice knockup. Splendid Dad's dropping low, but the heal comes through from Zito, and that's going to mean a double kill as Lord Reeves joins the fight in the top side. They're able to pick a Volibear, Assault, and Battery used by Vi to close the distance onto Otter as the Shen is trying to escape, but the red buff is going to constantly slow him down, and Vi just walks him down underneath the turret. Rift Herald started and should be able to be picked up by Dumbledore's army as they are taking everything.
And this just starts the systematic disassembly. Right now, Dumbledore's army, their coordination is completely online. They're firing on all cylinders. Every lane is ahead at the moment, and they're knocking down turrets. That was 2 turret plates in the top lane, and I think the turret in the bottom lane, yes, is going to fall. Look at how little damage they actually do, and it's disgusting. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a turret dropped in a full rotation from 5 plates to 0. They really are very tanky. And it's going to be the Rift Herald picked up as well. Smart is going to grab that one. They're probably going to drop it either mid or top lane, and they should do so within the next minute and a half. Before that turret plate drops, you can get the full bonus gold from a turret that you hit with Rift Herald. It's a lot of money. And Lord Reeves, good lord, this Vi is oppressive in the jungle. There has not been a blue buff received by Lieutenant this entire game.
He's even trying to make a play on the opposite side of the map, stealing away the enemy team's jungle, but it's not up and available for him to pick up. As Lord Reeves is going to be joined by the rest of his teammate here in the mid lane, dropping the Rift Herald, making sure they can get that charge down. The taunt comes through from the Galio, but it's not going to stop Shelly from doing some decent damage down to that mid lane turret. As Volibear comes in, what are you doing? He's going to get double ulted by the Shen and the Galio. They find the knockup, taking down the Vi, but that's the only one there. The not that. As I completely flub everything. Wow, Brain really just died. The Vayne is who I was completely missing there. The Vayne goes in, is able to secure 1 kill, first kill of the game, as Team Coast make use of a really, really bad play by Dumbledore's army, who just kind of got out-rotated.
Yeah, it was a really good play to start with.
Oh! Galio, however, on the backside, Sion comes in, charges down, takes out the Vayne. Shen teleport going to be used to join the fight in the mid lane. However, it's a little bit too little, a little bit too late, and what was traded in that was the top and bottom turrets. Dumbledore's army were able to pick up, and ace in the hole. Nice move by Caitlyn, takes out the Galio, turning him to statue once more.
I've gotta see this play right here. If Cody did what... Oh, that's nasty. Okay, the timing and communication right there. Cody goes for the hook at the moment that Dive starts his ultimate, so he gets a fully channeled ultimate onto the stun target. That was nasty. Well played.
Alright, Infernal started up by Dumbledore's army. Lieutenant 83 on the Volibear here, but decides to back away as too many members of Dumbledore's army are going to collect around, securing their second Drake of the game. And that is pretty nice, as they're also going to make sure to keep track of all of these blue buffs, giving that over to Lord Reeves once again, 4-1-5, doing really well to get his team ahead.
Yeah, and that's an Infernal Drake, and there will be a second one spawning in just a few minutes. I saw Galio. Galio, I saw you run. It's okay, we forgive you. Anyway. So, 4-1-3 on top laner, 6-2 on the jungler, 4-1 on the mid laner, and 2-0 on the ADC.
Oh, wait, they might catch the Thresh out. Might get a little bit more. He's going to dart past
suddenly Vi
into the middle of the fight as Azenboy tumbling left, right, and center, trying to escape from the Vi, who's just going to assault and battery her straight down. Drops low, but not enough to be finished off as Xeno's going to pick up his 3rd kill of the game with no death. Sauter still in trouble against Dive in the top side. He doesn't have his ultimate, though, so I don't think we're going to see him diving under the turret just yet, unless he straight up walks forward. A little bit of grasp damage onto Otter, who's trying to desperately defend this top turret.
Oh, Dive taking he's out of mana right now, so he's not really that much of a threat. We gotta love that engage right there. We caught Cody, guys. Cody's like, Lantern, Vi.
You catch me, you catch more of my teammates as well.
Whoa.
And he's going to catch out Lieutenant 83. Sorry, Volibear, not much that you can do. Catch Killen going to join the fun, drop the ultimate, but it's going to do nothing but pop those minions in the air as their own way for Team Coast Bottom is going to be cleared up. And Splendid Dad is just going to land another hook. This is why you ban Thresh from Cody. Okay, everybody, there are 20 viewers.
Changing his name.
There are 20 viewers. Ban Thresh from Cody, I beg of thee. Splendid Dad is his new name. He's a god on the champion. Boy in trouble. Flashing forward, Zeno. It's a hair of a flash. However, he's going to be flashing yet again. Winds of War comes through. Zeno getting low. But once again, the event horizon out of Vigar is going to stifle the engage, keep the Caitlyn alive.
Okay. I just have to say that with I have my text on the chat shrunk way down, and just the way the L kind of fades into the background on the titles for the items. I say this because Sion just purchased a Spectre's Cowl. With the L missing, it looks like Sion just purchased Spectre's Cowl.
Spectre's Cowl as he's going to engage onto Lieutenant. He and the Zyra are going to drop. Alright, so we talked at the beginning of the game about how for Team Coast, they're going to need to play well because they've got some seriously squishy members. At this point, though, the side of Dumbledore's army is so far ahead, they're making everybody look squishy as they're going to jump onto Galio again. He can't even get the taunt fully down before he goes out Assault and Battery onto the Vayne. However, a nice taunt from Shen is going to stifle that for the moment until Thai flashes back in, gets the fully charged Q, takes out Vayne, make it an ace. Dumbledore's army is not here to play. They are here to shut you down, and that's going to be an inhibitor in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was disgusting. This is just systematic destruction.
Ooh, wait, nice trap by the Zyra. However, it just does no damage at this point. So far behind in gold, so far behind in everything. Even a nice 4-man grouping. Grasping Vines? Grasping something. Grasping Roots! Yeah. Oh, I was so close. Grasping Roots. Not going to do that much for Team Coast as they're going to lose yet another blue buff.
Yeah, and I like this call to kind of back off a little bit, not try and force the end. Wait, Lieutenant might die here.
Cat's Killen trying to back him up. The Galio ultimate going to come through, but it's not going to be nearly enough. The defensiveness, because of the under-leveling, level 10, the level 12 Lord Reeves, level 12 for almost everyone besides the bottom lane from Dumbledore's army, means that it's not going to be nearly enough to keep Volibear alive.
Yeah, the reason I like the back off here, if they wanted to, Dumbledore's army probably could have ended the game right there on that last push. But they elect to play it a little bit safe because look at the bounties on these guys. I mean, the smallest one is 550, except for Thresh, but supports. So you have a 550 gold bounty on the tank. On the tank, mind you. And then I believe it's 600 or 800 on the Vigar, followed by 2 1,000 gold bounties on the ADC and the jungler. Hold on, Lieutenant getting caught again. Wait, oh no, the knockup doesn't come.
No, the Thresh hook, though, going to be plenty of damage. The moment, wait, Galio flashing and going to try to get 2 members on the Vigar here as well. And he's brought the damage. Pain Train, Thresh picks up 2 kills. Vi also going to secure a second Infernal Strike for Dumbledore's army. And as you were talking, I was running through my head all the options that Team Coast has to try to get back into the game. The late game scaling Vayne, the potential tankiness out of the Galio or Shen. And at the moment, though, down nearly 20,000 gold, 18,000 gold lead Dumbledore army has at the moment. I'm really not seeing any options for them to get back.
No, I think this one's a foregone moment. Dive down here with the little purple minions of death. Otter's trying desperately to do anything, but look at the tankiness on this guy. Just doesn't even care. So right now, 3 members going bot to answer the tank, and they're losing.
Yep, Dive is a pretty tanky boy. He's going to be dodging with the Volibear throwback. He even dodges out the Shen taunt. However, we'll see. He's got the ultimate already used. Lieutenant slowly dropping. There's the Shen ultimate. Going to come through the knockback once again. Dive has no mana, though. He might finally take this tank down. He still gets one for his trouble.
No, Triumph!
Heal. Is that going to be enough? No. Otter comes through. I don't think that Sion's going to be able to catch the Shen. The Baron, in the meantime, is...
Oh, he gets it! The 2v1 double kill comes through for the Sion.
And they get the Baron. And they get the second tier top lane turret. Make that a 20,000 gold... Okay, 19,000 gold lead for Dumbledore's army. It's only a matter of time at this point.
Wow. That's just so dumb. Oh, hold on, wait. Cody's landing the first.
Yeah, splendid, Dad. I don't think he cares too much. Lieutenant gonna go down, trying to make a play once again, but he's so far behind. Cake is gonna pick up a double kill. Vi just bursts the Zyra down. So squishy. Cosmic Xayah trying to tank everyone. Can't do it underneath double Nexus turrets that are pitiful in damage. It's a little bit of a love tap from them on anyone from Dumbledore's armies. They're going to just knock those structures down, take out the Nexus, and secure game number 2, even trying to tear away Shen from his own fountain. Dumbledore's army comes up huge, which, let's be fair, wasn't unexpected considering they were a pre-made team versus Team Coast that were definitely a bit under-ranked when it came to trying to pair it up. Oh, wow. Wait, I've got some feedback. Which new game releases outside of League are you most looking forward to? Wait, what? Which new game releases outside of League are you most looking forward to? All right, guys, you gotta help me with this. I'm actually gonna switch over to my recording screen for just a second so you guys can see this. All right, here it is. This is the question. I'm gonna post it. I'm going to post it to the chat as well. I can't copy and paste it. Oh, that's lame. All right, well, you guys got to help me with this. Give me what are your new game releases outside of League of Legends that you're most looking for. Apex Legends is already released. You can't use Apex Legends. It's already released. But give me some names to drop in the feedback. I'll submit it so that you guys can have a voice as well in what's going on there. But we're back to the red side victory because we got to talk about the end of this game, ladies and gentlemen. Half-Life 3. Oh, Lieutenant, I love it. That is absolutely the first name going in. This is good. Half-Life 3 it is. Spellbreak. That's a pretty cool BR, Dappa God. I actually have been keeping my eyes on that one for a little bit of while. Is it out yet? I think it's close to being out. Cyberpunk. I saw the trailer for it. Looks visually like a great game. The language is too strong for me personally. I will not be playing that game, but I'm sure that it's going to be pretty cool with a nice visual aesthetic. Astroneer, already got that one down too. Anthem. All right. I actually don't know much about Anthem. Oh, Astroneer's already out. Whatever. I already dropped it in. It's fine. I'm going to go ahead and drop my personal favorite. Subnautica Below Zero is one of the games that I am absolutely desperate to play. But it's in alpha right now, but I'm not going to play it until it comes out fully released. Okay, Wraith. Now that we've gotten our feedback submitted, or about to be submitted, give us the MVPs and honorable mentions.
All right, so first, MVPs, honorable mentions, and shout-outs for Team Coast. Let's go with honorable mention. I think is gonna have to go over. I think Asian Boy did a pretty good job in the bottom lane. There was a couple of disengages that he managed to do, despite the fact that Cody was completely on point with the hooks. The whole time, managing to use the condemn in some clever ways to get himself some distance, as well as that roam toward mid lane to pick up Reeves in the early to mid stage of the game was very impactful for their team at that point. Unfortunately, the collapse is coming through from Dumbledore's army, and the coordination of the guys who've been used to playing with each other was just way too strong, and the individual play couldn't quite come through. Otter, I think, is going to get you the MVP this time. The laning matchup, he played pretty well. He got solo killed once, I think, but after that first step, managed to play it really well. Up into the later phases of the game where everybody just got so far ahead that it was just so dumb. But for Dumbledore's army, and this is going to be pretty tough because everybody played great. You see, the funny thing is I'm going to get flamed no matter who I give MVP this time. Doesn't matter who. Somebody's
Everybody bias. Literally everybody bias. Every single lane.
Yeah. I mean, everybody. I think Smartest needs the MVP here. The movement in the jungle from the complete control he had in the early game, he took away a buff. So 3 buffs started, and no. He did a 2 buff start and cleared the top side jungle. Blue side, and then cleared all of his jungle.
Yeah.
So he started off at like a double the CS of his opponent, still out-ganked his opponent, and then went back, claimed the blue buff. I don't think Lieutenant ever got his own blue buff in that whole game. And then moved that into claiming his opponent's red buff twice in the game. So there was at one point where he had gotten all 4 buffs in the game at the same time. Multiple times. That kind of control, to me, deserves the MVP because it was a self-made victory. And then, I mean, the amount of ganks. The guy was everywhere, both in the 1v1s, in the jungles, catching people out in lanes. A lot of the advantages that were created in the game were done by Smartest. That gets him the MVP. Now, the honorable mention's the question mark here. Because, I mean, Lord Reeves, did his normal thing in the lane. I mean, Cosmic Xayah isn't a mid-lane main. So I don't think I can give it to Reeves. He played immaculately, and the shot calling was on point. But, I mean, the skill difference there, Reeves is a mid-lane main in High Diamond, and Cosmic Xayah has, I think, 2,000 mastery points on this particular champ, so it's not a fair matchup. So despite Reeves' excellent play, I don't think I can give it to him. Dive, I want to give it to him for that massive outplay in the bottom lane, but I think I'm going to have to give it to Cody. Really. The guy landed all but like 2 hooks in the whole game. And he engages in the bot side when either Smartest would come down or Reeves would come down. And I know Xeno is 8-0 on Caitlyn. But so much of that is due to Cody. Dive played awesome in the top lane. But I think I have to give it to Cody because he was just so consistent on the hooks, and I know the shot calling's there every time, but definitely the hooks and the flays and the flash flays and just being everywhere on the map, the vision control, I think Cody deserves the honorable mention, and the MVP goes over to Smartest. And let's see, I haven't looked, but how much am I getting flamed?
You got flamed a lot by Reeves, which is not unexpected considering that anytime you don't give him MVPs, he tends to freak out just a little bit.
Yeah, okay, Reeves, yeah, but you're playing against somebody who isn't a mid lane main. I'm not gonna. You're a master tier player. I'm not. Yeah.
All right, and with that, we're going to take a very short break as we get prepared for game number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy some marbles as we get set up. Don't go anywhere. Again, if you want to play, make sure you use that exclamation point join with your in-game name. I swear to goodness, it makes my life so much easier when you use your in-game name. We'll be right back with game number 3. Look for those invites. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy marbles.